So shall we play some music?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we're going to play some music and then we'll tell you about what we're playing, and then we'll play some more. So, all right, 1, 2. Thank you all so much for coming to join us today. It's so nice to see you. It's really, really nice to see you here. All ages. I think this is the biggest age span that we've had in a show in a little while. In the back, how old are you now?
60. Oh, sorry.
How old am I?
How old is she?
Oh, 3. I'm
Years
sorry.
old. Welcome, it's so good to have a 3-year-old here. I have an 18-month-old at home, so you're twice his age, so you look like a very big kid to me right now. We're going to be playing klezmer music for you today, and the first piece that we played was a classic of the klezmer repertoire called the Bulgar. And the next piece that we're going to play is a little bit newer. It's called Fischerlied, yeah? This is our set list on the floor. So the next piece that we're going to play is called Fischerlied. It's a song about fishing for fish and fishing for love and failing at both. So Abby lives in Gloucester right now. We don't play it in Gloucester. Very sore there. The lyrics were written by an amazing Yiddish American poet, Elisa Greenblatt, who was a sweatshop worker who rose to become a political activist and a poet, and ended up as the mother-in-law of Woody Guthrie, who some people might have heard of, and left us all of this amazing poetry that's been set to song. So this is a melody that she actually wrote to go with the poem, and then we've put something completely different on top of it.
And we should mention that this is in Yiddish, not English. So
Sure.
if you don't understand what we're...
It's okay.
Yeah, so if you don't understand it right away, it's okay.
It's not just our pronunciation.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Fischer treuerig, hat kein Fisch gefangen. Und ich bin meurisch heilig, ach, lel mir ist vergangen. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, ach, lel mir ist vergangen. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la.
So we're going to do another famous Yiddish song next, another famous folk song. All this music that we're playing today comes from Central and Eastern Europe. It's the traditional music of the Ashkenazi Jewish people. And so that the Yiddish language is a combination of German and Hebrew that developed in Central and Eastern Europe and has come over to this country and now exists all over the world.
Who here knows Yiddish
Oh,
or
yeah,
has
and
heard Yiddish
Speak Yiddish
before
or-
today?
A little,
A little
yeah.
bit, yeah.
A bissel, yeah.
Some things that people don't know is the word bagel. That is a Yiddish word.
Mhm.
Everyone here probably speaks some Yiddish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bagel.
Chutzpah,
Chutzpah.
Schlep.
Yeah, Vesmir.
Yeah.
Oy vey.
Okay, yeah.
Or as my 18-month-old loves to say, Oy gewalt. Oy gewalt. He loves Oy gewalt. And also schmutz.
Yeah.
Schmutz. Got a little schmutz on your face.
Yeah, or as Benny's like cleaning the floor with his Swiffer, and he goes, that's not blood, that's schmutz. He's a very thoughtful.
Anyways.
It's a very expressive language. This next song is a love song in Yiddish, and it's basically comparing your love to the moon and the stars and all kinds of natural beauty. Anyway, yeah.
Stein wie die Wonne, licht ik wie de Stern von Himmel am Matune, bist du mir zugeschickt, mein Glück hab ich gewinnen, wenn ich hab dich gefunden. Du scheinst wie 1000 Sehnen, hast du mein Herz beglückt. Deine zähnende Lach, weiße Perlenlach, mit deinen schönen Augen, deine Hände Lach, deine Herrenlach, hast du mächtige Zeugen, schön wie die Levone, lichtig wie die Sterne von Himmel am Matune, bist du mir zugeschickt. Schön wie der Frühmorgen, kischelf wie der Abend, der Sonnengold ist verborgen, wenn du bist nicht bei mir. Dein Kind hat mich gehalten, wenn ich hab dich getroffen. Ob du wirst in mir bleiben, wird das Leben sein und schön. Deine zehnte Lach, weiße Perlenlach, mit deinen schönen Augen, deine Hände Lach, deine Herrenlach, hast mächtige Zeugen, schön wie die Levone, lichtig wie die Sterne von Himmel
Abigail Reisman on the fiddle. And speaking of Abigail Reisman on the
yeah.
fiddle, she's
Speaking
not
of.
just playing the fiddle today, she's going to show us how to dance.
Yes, but not yet.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Preview. Since we're in a library, we'll call that a harbinger or foreshadowing.
Ah,
We have to use our literary terms here.
harbinger. Yeah. That's good.
Isn't it? The next tune is called Harbinger. No, it isn't.
So we've been doing a lot of traditional we've been doing traditional Klezmer music and some Yiddish music that we've learned, Yiddish song from, I guess they were written many years ago, not that long ago, but
It's not from ancient times,
yes,
but
not from ancient times,
no,
but
it's 100 years old.
100 years old or so. But
Not
as a
from
band,
times, yeah.
as a band, we also write our own music. All of us have written our own music, and we write it in the style of Klezmer music, and it's super fun to just play with that idiom. And this tune that we're about to play is a tune that I wrote, and I call it Johannes Hosadol, which is a weird pairing of names. Johannes after Johannes Bach, because when I started writing this piece, I was practicing a Bach fugue on my violin, and those are very hard to play. So I got very frustrated, and then all of a sudden, the fugue turned into a Klezmer tune. So this is what came out of it. So this is called Johannes Hosadol. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's no longer a harbinger because now
Is
it's
it
actually
harbinger? It's not harbinger.
Or you
Harbinger,
could-
it's
It
really
depends, it
Harbinger.
depends on which
I've
one you
only
read.
read that. I don't think I've ever heard. Has anybody heard somebody speak that colloquially? Okay, cool. Before now. I mean, we are in a library. We have librarians here, so I'm sure.
It's reasonable that we have advanced vocabularies.
It's also reasonable that that word is even in this room, in these books.
Yeah, the harbinger.
This is the large print section, so
Yeah.
we could find it easily.
What is the likelihood?
You could probably read it from where you're standing.
Okay, enough about that. So, yes, dance demo. Okay. Oh, yes. So, klezmer music, it's a very functional music. So it was written for many purposes in the old country. This is in Eastern Europe, the Pale of Settlement. And one of those purposes was for dancing. Maybe even like half of the tunes are for different types of dances. So I'm going to teach you some of the dances. And the first one is a chosidol, which was, it's a type of dance that's improvisatory and a little bit of a show-off dance. And really all of it happens up here in your upper half. So you can actually do it while you're seated. So you can just join me in. You don't have to, but I'm not gonna hold this. I'm just gonna put it on this nice cozy couch.
Comfortable place for us.
Yeah. And you can just sort of follow what I'm doing with my hands if you feel like it. So I'll have a little bit of a hustle. Easy. Anybody want to join in? I can also just demonstrate. No worries. Yeah, we got some in the back. Awesome. And there's this one. Yeah. Nice. So I love that dance because it is very much about like just reaching up into the heavens, into spirituality. So there's this ground, when you see people dance it, there's this groundedness that's happening, but also this, it's kind of like a slinky. It's like this going on, like this upward and downward motion. So being a musician, we try to make that happen in the music as well, to make it as easy as possible for the dancer to, it's almost like you're bouncing on like a cloud or something. It's really fun, especially with a whole group of people. It's quite fun.
And it's like the antithesis of step dancing.
Yeah.
It's like with your legs.
Exactly, yeah, it really is, it really is. But this next one does have more leg stuff, and you guys can't really see my feet, can you?
Should we move some chairs?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
This is the part where the Facebook Live goes out. That was the end of the Klezmer band. And here.
Now, I would love, if anybody wants to join me, you are so welcome to. You can like go in the back and nobody will see you if you really feel like dancing, but if not, I can just, yeah. Or you can do it with your hands, what I'm gonna do with my feet. So this next one, oh yes, this is one of my favorite dances. It's called, it's either called a slow hora or a zhoks. Do you want to dance with me?
Probably will.
Awesome, so you can see my
I think she
feet.
just wants to see better.
Yes, okay, so it starts with swaying. So we sway, you can do this with me in your chair, and then you sway, and then you sway, and then you go step, step. So you can actually do that with your hands, like a step, step. That's the whole thing. Sway, 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 step, step. And sway, and sway, and sway, step, step. Let's get some music. Yeah. Step, step. Sway. Sway, sway, step, step. And that's that one. There's a lot of different versions. You do that one kind of holding hands and in a circle, and it feels so great to be just moved, like in that swaying pattern. And then it's so much, and the musicians push you. They kind of like push that movement. There's another one that goes, it's a little bit more complicated. It goes step, 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 and back, and back, and back, step, step. So it's that feeling of just being, yeah, whisked around. Okay, and then the last one is a bulgar, which is, yeah, quite fun.
We're only teaching you the fun dances.
All the dances are fun. Except for the honga. The honga is kind of weird. It's kind of just, you go like this. Wait, what do you do? Wait. Oh, this is it. You just do this around the room for like 10 minutes, holding people's shoulders. Yeah, it is. It's like that. That one actually is fun too. It's kind of like a trance a little bit. So, okay. So this last one is probably the easiest one, I think. So it's just basically step, 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 and you lift a foot, and then you lift another foot. So if you want to do it with your hands, you can do step, 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 and lift, step, one, lift, and lift. Right, bells that go with it.
Must be 7 o'clock.
All right, I'm going to start all the way over here. And when I get to the end there, I'm going to pick up my violin and play. So.
And if any of you want to join along, this is...
Yeah,
this
feel
is,
free to join along. I totally understand.
And if you're watching
We're all
at
getting
home,
back from the pandemic.
Yeah, if you want to watch at home and do this, this is a perfect one to do around your kitchen table.
Yes.
If your kitchen table is in the middle of your kitchen, not if it's along this side.
True. And, en, twee, drie, vier.
Shall we sing again?
Yeah, so we're gonna go back to doing another Yiddish folk song. This one's fun. This one's
I forgot that I need music for this one.
okay. I'm gonna sing it.
Yeah.
But this is an old drinking song, and it's the story of someone who their intent is to go off to the fair to buy a horse, but on the way sees a bar, spends all the money on drinks, and then no longer buys the horse. Essentially.
I think every culture has one of these songs, right? And some of them have many of these songs. This is one of my favorites. And there's a part of it where you could sing along if you so choose,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you don't have to. But if you were in a bar singing the song and not having any voice, but still having your voice, you could sing yourself hoarse and actually get a horse from the street. Which is not a pun in Yiddish, because those aren't the same words in Yiddish. But if we're going to be speaking English, we might as well enjoy it.
And the instrumental that you'll hear as part of this song was written by Nat. Do you want to tell me anything about it?
Oh yeah, sure. So, Abigail was talking about the fact that we write our own music as well in this idiom, and for us it's really important to think about klezmer music not just as something that, not as a formal on fire, to think of it not as something that is historical. It's grounded in history, it's grounded in our culture, but it's a living, breathing art form, and it's something that we practice every day. And it's really important to us that it's something that we continue working on and building upon and writing new music that grows from the source, but isn't old. And a lot of the tunes, people think about klezmer as old music, but even the existing tunes that we're playing in the Yiddish songs, they're not that old. We talk about these being like 100 years old. They come after there were crowds in Paris rioting over the Rite of Spring. They come after the point at which in orchestral music things were starting to get atonal. And they come at the same time as actually some American pop music. In fact, some of this klezmer music and some of the Yiddish songs in particular were American pop music. And they were played on the
And
radio.
when the angels sing.
Mhm.
I forgot the rest.
That's
That's a klezmer tune.
It's a klezmer tune that Benny Goodman recorded, and so it's just something that we love about this music, that it's living, it's breathing, and it's growing. And here's some new instrumental music that goes along with a slightly older tune. And I hope you enjoy it.
One, two, three, four.
Spreit sich mir mit Giche, mit Giche, noch Viertel zum Jahre, mit Meister kling ich mir, ohne Liedl sing ich mir, weit noch sei weit. Steht der Klezmer bei der Seite, Brennt sie eben, die ist die Tier. Klezmer gibt ein Gläsel mir. Noch ein Gläsel, noch eins, noch ein Glas. Kiss mir an der Balls. Auf der Stadt werden wir Jahre. Als Kind verlacht mich nicht, darf ich nicht.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it with the doina too.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're going to give you some klezmer music now. That's kind of what we've been doing. But we're going to give you some more klezmer music. And the next piece that we're going to play is going to start with a piece called a doina. A doina is one of my favorite songs in the klezmer repertoire. And we could talk for so long about it, but instead we're just going to show you how it goes by playing it. And then it's going to go into a song which is a gasenigen, which means a street tune. And if you want to dance the zhok to it, you can do so. And from there, we're going to go into some gradually faster and faster tunes that you might dance a bulgar to, since we haven't taught you how to dance a frelix.
Frelix, sorry.
Every time. Every time. The word frelix has an S at the end of it, but because of my Boston accent, I don't pronounce the S. That's what I'm gonna say. And every time I say frelix, Abby is like, frelix.
I
And
really
she's
didn't
right.
mean to do that.
Every time she's right. So whenever you say frelix, which means happy, just remember the S at the end because
It makes
should-
Abby unhappy.
Well, Frelix means happy. The dance is Frelix, which technically means like the happies. So,
if you've got the happies, you gotta
yeah.
dance the
'Cause if you're
frelix,
saying I'm dancing a Frelix, you're just saying I'm dancing a happy.
which is a weird thing to do.
Don't make that faux pas.
Yeah, sorry. I really don't mean to be that person.
This is a harbinger of Abigail showing up in your life rather than saying frelix.
Bless you.
Who's doing the doina? You? Me?
Sure, why don't you take it?
Okay. Let me do a little short one.
Should we have them sing it?
Well,
Never mind.
Frelix.
It's something different.
Okay.
We need to do both.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting towards that time of the evening, everyone. We only have a few songs left for you. But we wanted to take a moment right now to, first of all, thank all of you for coming. It's so good to see you. Give yourselves a round of applause. We'll give you a round of applause, that's for sure. Wanted to thank the Southbridge Cultural Council for making this possible. Thanks to you out there who are watching us. And of course, we want to thank the generous staff at the library for really making this possible, because without you, we wouldn't be here. And that goes for everything that happens in this beautiful building. It's so much fun to come down here and just spend some time with you in a wonderful library, in a wonderful community. So thank you, and thank all of you. One more round of applause for everybody.
So we've got a couple more songs for you. Both are in Yiddish. This next one is one of the most famous Yiddish songs. So even if you think you don't know any Yiddish songs, you may know this one. It is all about a young boy trying to court a young girl by asking her lots of riddles. It doesn't seem to be very successful, but that is what the song is about.
It's called Billie Jean.
But in the chorus, it's all about balalaika that is being played. So this song is called Tune Balalaika, which basically means play balalaika. And we welcome you to sing along. You'll hear the chorus several times, so even if you don't know it yet, you will by the end of the song. So, Tune Balalaika.
Steht und tracht, tracht und tracht die ganze Nacht. Wenn es zu nehmen und nicht forschen, wenn es zu nehmen und nicht forschen. Tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, laika, schwilbala, laika, tumbala, laika, freilich soll sein.
That's the whole chorus. The next time you hear it, try singing along. It's basically just tumbala, 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 like that. Word. Here we go.
Mädel, Mädel, ich will bei dir fragen, Wachsen, wachsen, wachsen und regen. Wachsen, brennen und werfen, wachsen, denken, werden, Here we go. Tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, laika, schwilbala, laika, tumbala, laika, freilich soll sein. Marischer Bocher, was darfst du fragen? Stehen kann wachsen, wachen und regen. Liebe kann brennen und nicht teufeln, wachsen, denken, wegen und quer. Tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, laika, schwilbala, laika, tumbala, laika, freilich soll sein. Tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, laika, schwilbala, laika, tumbala, laika, freilich soll sein.
Who here knew that song? Yeah.
Right, all right.
Yeah, nice.
So we have one more song for you tonight, and my guess is you might not know this unless you know this band, because it's not a song that's very commonly sung, even amongst the people who sing Yiddish songs. It's called Chosnanakala. So no one knows this. That's fine. That's fine. In fact, it's even better for us to introduce a new piece to you. Chosna Lachala is a great song, and it's a funny song. And
Not for the groom.
The title means a groom without a bride, because it's an unfortunate, the story is sad for the groom, not so sad for the bride, but
the bride is
Yeah.
very pleased.
the bride is very pleased. But essentially there's a whole wedding going on. You have the groom side going to the wedding, the bride side going to the wedding, everybody's singing, everybody's dancing, having a great time, except the bride, who is silent, who is not saying anything, not singing anything, until a nobleman on a horse rides through the crowd, and the bride lights up redder than a bonfire. You'll hear that in the music when we pause, because that's when she blushes. And then she gets onto the horse, rides off with him. The groom is left without a bride. And so the end, you'll hear the music get a little sadder for the groom. But ultimately, we think that she's probably better off with who she wants to be with.
That's
Yeah.
I mean, you've all seen this
If one
movie,
person's
right?
not happy, they both aren't, so,
Yeah.
you know.
It's true.
He
He got out of
was
it
better
just in
off too,
time.
yeah.
He got out of it just in time.
Yeah, so here we go. Chosna Lachala, this is our last song. Thank you so much again for having us. You're Ezekiel's Wheels Klezmer Band. This is Abigail Reisman on the violin.
And Kirsten Lamb on the bass and the vocals.
1, 2, 3, 4. Sei mir rausgefahren auf den ersten Schlitten, auf den ersten Schlitten. Auf den Machutines der die Kalle hinter mich, die Kalle hinter mich. Oi, oi, an den Nordschweiz, allein die Kalle, oi. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, oi, sing an den Nordschweiz, allein die Kalle, oi. Oi, oi. Sei mir rausgefahren auf den zweiten Schlitten, auf den zweiten Schlitten. Aber ich mach und im Lach, der Klassen in der Wind, der Klassen in der Wind. Oi, oi, an den Nordschweiz, allein die Kalle, oi. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, oi, sing an den Nordschweiz, allein die Kalle, oi. Oi, oi. Wir rausgefahren auf den dritten Schlitten, auf den dritten Schlitten. Alle zu Hossen sahen, die Klezmer in der Wind. Oi, oi, schwimmen alle Nordschweiz, allein die Kalle, oi. Oi, oi, oi. Oi, oi, schwimmen alle Nordschweiz, allein die Kalle, oi. Oi, oi. And I race gefahren, verliebt bei Reite, verliebt bei Reite. Auf die Kalle abgeklappt, wie bei der Seite, wie bei der Seite. Oi, oi, schneiden an den Norden, singt da in der Kalle, oi. Oi, 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 schneiden an den Norden, singt da in der Kalle, oi. Oi, oi. Schlittelach, ihr Schlittelach, ihr mich zurück schon vor. Ihr mich zurück schon vor. Große Leben, oi, große
Facebook Live, thank you for staying with us. We haven't gone dark yet.
We just had to stop at the end.
Never mind. Thank you all so much for joining. Feel free to come say hello afterwards.
I would like to say a few comments. Number
Please.
one, your dancing is related to other nationalities, one of which is the Albanian picnic in town here. Your last dance was very much like what they performed.
Yes.
I didn't hear any music from the Fiddler on the Roof, but I related to it continuously through the presentation. And you are to be commended. You've been playing, and except to have to gaze a few times to your stand for the music, you played without any music. It's fantastic to have that much of a repertoire that you can keep on going. It's amazing. I really think you will be back again. That's what I was waiting for.
There you go.